Very good afternoon, guys. So yesterday we started discussing about acceleration due to gravity. What do you mean by this acceleration due to gravity? The acceleration acquired by a body due to gravity is called as an acceleration due to gravity. You know what is a gravity? Gravity means the gravitational force between the body and the earth. So the gravitational force will exist between any two bodies having certain masses. Among those two bodies, if one body is an earth, then that gravitational force only we call it as an gravity. Because of the gravity, a body which is moving or which is falling from certain height will acquire an acceleration. The acceleration acquired by a body due to gravity is called as an acceleration due to gravity. It is denoted with the symbol small g and the direction of acceleration due to gravity. Because if this is the earth, if you leave a body from certain height, definitely the body will move or will fall towards the center of the earth. So the direction of acceleration due to gravity will be always towards the center of the earth. And next point also we discussed, the acceleration due to gravity does not depends on the mass of a body. The acceleration due to gravity does not depends upon the mass of a body. So by doing some derivations we are going to discuss in coming chapters, small g is equal to gm by r square. This is the formula to find out the value of acceleration due to gravity, where this is the gravitational constant, m is the mass of the earth, and r is the radius of the earth. G is the universal gravitational constant, capital M is the mass of the earth, capital R is the radius of the earth. If small m is the mass of a body, if small m is the mass of a body, there is no term here, there is no small m term in this formula. That implies that the value of acceleration due to gravity does not depends on the mass of a body. Since in this formula there is no small m term. Have you got this formula and all we are going to discuss later. So based on this, I can say that the value of acceleration due to gravity does not depends upon the mass of a body, or it is independent of the mass of a body. Now, here, whenever a body is falling downwards, whenever a body is falling downwards, now the acceleration will be downwards, and at the same time the direction of acceleration due to gravity is also downwards. So whenever a body is falling from certain height, there will be an increment in its velocity. So the direction of acceleration is like this. But the direction of acceleration due to gravity is also same, downwards. That's why whenever a body is moving downwards, the acceleration has to be considered as plus g. Whenever a body is moving downwards, a should be considered as plus g. Similarly, if a body is moving upwards, if a body is moving upwards, then whenever a body is moving upwards, So while moving up, the acceleration due to gravity will decreases. I mean to say, the acceleration of a body decreases. That is nothing but the upward is the direction of retardation. That's why whenever a body is moving upwards, instead of a, we should take minus g. If a body is moving upwards, a is equal to plus g. If a body is moving downwards, a is equal to minus g. Okay. Generally, for all the calculation purpose, we will consider the shape of the earth is a spherical. For all calculation purpose, we will consider the shape of the earth is a spherical. But frankly speaking, the shape of the earth is not a spherical. It is a geological shape or oval shape like this. So this is called as a major axis. This is called as a minor axis. The major axis only we call it as an equatorial line. The minor axis we call it as a polar line. So this is the polar line and this is an equatorial line. So this is called as an equatorial radius and this is called as a polar radius. By seeing this diagram, I can say that I can say that the equatorial radius is greater than the polar radius. The equatorial radius is greater than the polar radius. Here, as we know, the formula to find out the acceleration due to gravity, g is equal to gm by r square. Since the equatorial radius is greater than the polar radius, obviously we can say, since the small g value is inversely proportional to square of the radius, then I can say the acceleration due to gravity at the equatorial point will be lesser than the acceleration due to gravity at the polar point. GE is lesser than GP. GE is lesser than GP. So that means I can say GE means the value of acceleration due to gravity at the equatorial point. GP means the value of acceleration due to gravity at the polar point. So I can say that the value of acceleration due to gravity is not remains constant. The value of G is not remains constant throughout the surface of the earth. Is it right or not? Because the G value is varying from point to point on the surface of the earth. G value is changing from point to point on the surface of the earth because this distance is varies. So here the equatorial radius is just 21 kilometers greater than the polar radius. The equatorial radius just 21 kilometers greater than the polar radius. So here 21 kilometer is not a big issue. Why? Because the polar radius of an earth is 6,400 kilometers. The radius of the earth is 6,400 kilometers. In the 21 is just a number, just a small number. That's why generally for all calculation purpose, we will consider the equatorial radius and polar radius are same, though it is not. That's why for all calculation purpose, we'll consider the shape of the earth is a spherical. But actually, it is not in spherical shape. Actually, it is in geological shape or oval shape. So as we are saying, the value of acceleration due to gravity at the equatorial point is lesser than at polar point. At equatorial point, its value is 9.78 meters per second square. Whereas at the polar point, its value is 9.81 meters per second square. That's why generally we'll take the acceleration due to gravity value is 9.8 meters per second square. Okay. So what the important point we need to remember, the value of acceleration due to gravity will vary from one point to another point on the surface of the earth. As you are moving from the equatorial point to the polar point, the value of acceleration due to gravity keep on increases. So by an average, generally we'll take the value of G is 9.8 meters per second square. But for calculation purpose, we'll take G value as 10 meters per second square. But if this value should be used, if and only if they mentioned G value as a 10. Otherwise, everywhere we have to take the G value as 9.8. So this is small points to remember while dealing with an vertical motion. So regarding acceleration due to gravity, on what factors the value of acceleration due to gravity depends. What are the other parameters which will influence or which will affect the value of acceleration due to gravity? All those we are going to discuss in coming chapter called as a gravitation. Okay. Now finally, what we need to remember still now is, if a body is moving downwards, A is equal to plus G. If a body is moving upwards, A is equal to minus G. Now, equations of motion. Equations of motion already we discussed the equations of motion. Now I am going to discuss the equations of motion for vertical motion. For vertical motion, I would like to discuss equations of motion. So how to do? When it is moving in a straight line, that is the linear motion. What are the equations of motion? First one is V is equal to U plus AT. Second one is S is equal to UT plus half AT square. Third one is V square minus U square is equal to 2AS. And fourth important one is Sn is equal to U plus A by 2 into 2n minus 1. So these are the four equations of motion we'll use in a straight line motion. Whereas in vertical motion, that too, body projected vertically downward. A body is projected vertically downwards. That is nothing but I am throwing the body. I am throwing the body downwards. Then Will this body is having any initial velocity? Will this body is having any initial velocity or not? Yes, because we are throwing it. We are not dropping. We are throwing. So there will be an initial velocity. So u is equal to u. Now the body will move downward direction. Whenever a body is moving downward direction, we have to consider a is equal to plus g. Then the same formulas. What is the first equations of motion? V is equal to u plus, instead of a, what I should take? Plus g. V is equal to u plus gt. Next equation. S is nothing but distance traveled. Whereas in vertical motion, we will not call it as a distance, we will call it as a height. Height. So instead of S, I should take H now. Then the second equation will become H is equal to ut plus half. Instead of A, what I should take? G. Half g t square. H is equal to ut plus half gt square. Third one, v square minus u square is equal to 2gh. Fourth one, hn is equal to u plus, instead of a, g by 2 into 2n minus 1. So he will ask whether for 2 marks or 3 marks. Write the equations of motion when a body is projected downwards, like that. Then you have to write for 2 marks questions 2 equations, for 3 marks question 3 equations. Any 3 you can write, no problem. Next case, freely falling body. Freely falling body. Freely falling body. There is nothing but a body falls freely. Then that is nothing but when you drop a body like this. We are dropping a body like this. We are not projecting. We are dropping. Then what will be the initial velocity now? Initial velocity will be 0. Why? Because we are not throwing. Just we are leaving. We are dropping. So u is equal to 0. Will the body moves downwards or upwards once you drop a body like this? Definitely the body will move downwards. Whenever a body is moving downwards, a is equal to plus g. And as usual, s is equal to h. Then what are the formulas? What are the equations of motion? First one, v is equal to u plus at, whereas u is equal to 0, a is equal to g. Then the first equation will become v is equal to gt. As we know, the value of g is always constant. Then with your permission, I will write v is directly proportional to t. So that means when a body is dropped from certain height, what is the ratios of their velocities? What is the ratio of its velocity after 1 second, after 2 seconds, after 3 seconds, after 4 seconds, like that? If you ask, what we should write? Since V is directly proportional to T, V1 is to, V2 is to, V3 is to, and so on is equal to T1 is to, T2 is to, T3 is to, and so on. Second equation. Second equation. S is equal to ut plus of at square. S means H. U is 0 because of it is freely falling body. We are dropping it. Then what the equation will get? H is equal to half g t square. Then from here I will write with your permission. Since g value is a constant, H is directly proportional to t square. H is directly proportional to t square. So I will write H1 is to, H2 is to, H3 is equal to T1 square is to, T2 square is to, T3 square is to, and so on. Third equation. V square minus U square is equal to 2AS, where U is equal to 0, A is equal to G. So V square is equal to 2GH. Next, fourth one. U is equal to 0, A is equal to plus G. Then Hn is equal to G by 2 into 2n minus 1. Hn is equal to G by 2 into 2n minus 1. If you ask, write the equations of motion for a freely falling body anta kelidire, then these four equations is sufficient. V is equal to GT. Idella bekagilla. These things we are going to use in objectives. V is equal to GT. H is equal to half GT square. V square is equal to 2GH. Hn is equal to G by 2 into 2n minus 1. Out of those four, any two you can write. Okay. Next one. A body is projected. Next one, third case. First case, second case, third case in vertical motion. A body is projected vertically upwards. Vertically upwards. Body is projected vertically upwards. And what I am doing? I am projecting a body upwards like this. I am projecting a body upwards. Like this, I am projecting. Like this, I am projecting. Will it be any initial velocity required? Initial velocity beka? Yes. Without initial velocity, it will not go up. So, U is equal to U. Definitely the body is moving upwards. Whenever the body moves upwards, A is equal to minus G. A is equal to minus G. S is equal to H, height. Then what are the equations of motion? First one is V is equal to U plus AT. Instead of plus A, what I should take now? Minus G. V is equal to U minus GT. Similarly, S is equal to UT plus of AT square. Instead of A, I should take minus G now. H is equal to UT minus of GT square. Next one, V square minus U square is equal to minus 2GH. Next one, Hn is equal to U minus G by 2 into 2n minus 1. So this question, this concept is important even in PUC also. Okay, he is going to ask, write any two equations of motion when a body is projected downwards, or when a body is projected upwards, or when you drop your body. Like that he will ask, either for 2 marks or 3 marks. So these equations of motion you have to write. Next main point. When a body is, note down, when a body is drop, when a body is drop from certain height h, when a body is drop from certain height h, when a body is drop from certain height h, first point, the time taken, the time taken, the time taken by the body, the time taken by the body to reach the ground is, the time taken by the body to reach the ground is. So what is telling? A body is dropped. Very good. Since it is dropped, U is equal to 0. From where it is dropping? It is dropping certain height h. It is dropping certain height h. Now he is asking us to find how much time will it take to reach the ground. How much time will it take to reach the ground? T is equal to how much? Then we know the u value, we know the h value, and even we know that body is moving downwards. Body is moving downwards. Whenever a body moves downwards, a is equal to plus g. A value also we come to know. He is asking us to find what is the t value. What is the t value? Then which formula shall we approach? S is equal to ut plus half at square. Whereas S is equal to h, u is equal to 0. So this entire term will be 0, half a is equal to plus g t square. From here I will write t is equal to square root of 2h by g. So this is the formula to find out the time taken to reach the ground. Next point. Next point. The velocity, next point. When a body is dropped from certain height, h, then after the velocity of a body, while reaching the ground. The velocity of a body while reaching the ground. With what velocity it reaches the ground anta kelta idru. Here they are asking v is equal to how much? With what velocity it reaches the ground. So they are asking the final velocity. We know the initial velocity. V value they are asking. U value we know. S value we know, which is h. A value we know. A is equal to plus g. Then what formula shall we approach? V, U, A, S. The formula which related all those four terms, V square minus U square is equal to 2AS. Where V is equal to, we have to find. U is equal to 0. A is equal to plus G. S is equal to H. Then I will write V square is equal to 2GH. From here, V is equal to root 2GH. And if you are able to remember this formula, directly we can apply. V is equal to root 2GH formula, we can find the velocity. If you are unable to remember this formula, we have to follow this traditional method. Next main point. Next main point. Next main point. A body is projected sorry, a body is dropped. A body is dropped from certain height h. A body is dropped from certain height h. From certain height h. Full stop. It takes a time of t seconds. It takes a time of t seconds to reach the ground. T seconds to reach the ground. Full stop. What will be its height? What will be its height exactly? What will be its height exactly after t by 2 seconds? After t by 2 seconds. What will be its height exactly after t by 2 seconds? ಅವರು ಏನು ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, what they're asking is, a body is dropped. Very good. U is equal to 0. From where? From a height of h. From a height h. It takes a time of t seconds to reach the ground. It takes a time of t seconds to reach the ground. Now what is their problem is, where the body will be, at what height, the body will be exactly after t by 2 seconds. Where this? If it is dropped from a height h, it takes a time t. Where the body will be exactly after t by 2 seconds travel. Okay. So generally what you say, generally by seeing this, you can say that since in t seconds it's h, obviously at t by 2 seconds it's h by 2. We'll say like this. Is it right or not? But if you say like that, your answer is true. If the body is moving with uniform velocity, ಯೂನಿಫಾರ್ಮ್ ವೆಲಾಸಿಟಿಯಿಂದ ಬಾಡಿ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಹೇಳಬಹುದು ಎಕ್ಸಾಕ್ಟ್ಲಿ t by 2 ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ಸ್ಗೆ h by 2 ಇರ್ತದೆ ಅಂತ. ಬಟ್ ಹಿಯರ್ ದ ಬಾಡಿ ಈಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಮೂವಿಂಗ್ ವಿತ್ ಯೂನಿಫಾರ್ಮ್ ವೆಲಾಸಿಟಿ. ದ ಬಾಡಿ ಈಸ್ ಮೂವಿಂಗ್ ವಿತ್ ಯೂನಿಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಆಕ್ಸಲರೇಷನ್. ಆಕ್ಸಲರೇಷನ್ ಇಸ್ ಯೂನಿಫಾರ್ಮ್, ನಾಟ್ ವೆಲಾಸಿಟಿ. ಆಕ್ಸಲರೇಷನ್ ಯೂನಿಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? ಚೇಂಜ್ ಇನ್ ವೆಲಾಸಿಟಿ ಈಸ್ ಯೂನಿಫಾರ್ಮ್. Understood? So the answer definitely will not be h by 2. h by 2 iralla. Then now we should be very particular that here the body is moving with uniform acceleration, not uniform velocity. Adi important. Then ಈಗ ಹೆಂಗೆ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಪ್ಪ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, so from this data I can write that this is the total distance traveled in a total time. We'll go with s is equal to ut plus of at square, where u is equal to 0. Then I will write h is equal to half gt square. Hodalva? H is equal to half gt square. Now I am considering this because the time of travel is t by 2 from the top, and moreover we know that here the initial velocity is 0. That's why this I will take h dash. Now from this data I will write this is the total distance traveled in a total time. This is the total distance traveled in a total time. Then again the same formula, S is equal to ut plus half at square. ಇಲ್ಲಿ S ಅಂದ್ರೆ h dash, u ಅಂದ್ರೆ 0, a ಅಂದ್ರೆ plus g, t ಅಂದ್ರೆ t dash, which is equal to t by 2. So h dash is equal to half g, t dash is nothing but t by 2 whole square. That is h dash value. So with your permission I will write 1 by 4 into half gt square. This is t square by 4, t by 2 whole square, t square by 4. So this you will write 1 by 4 into half gt square. We know that half gt square is nothing but h. So after t by 2 seconds, the body will be h by 4 from the top. H by 4 from the top. Generally, if anybody asks the position of a body anta kelidre ಏನದ ಎಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಪೊಸಿಷನ್ ತಗಂತೀವಿ ನಾವು, we'll always take the position from the ground, not from the top. At what height the body will be anta kelidre, what you will do, we will measure from the ground. So the answer should be with respect to the ground, not with respect to the top. Okay, so final answer should be the body is at a distance of or at a height of idi h by 4, then what it will be, at a height of h minus h by 4, which is equal to 3h by 4. From where? From the ground. So if anybody asks what is the position of a body, andre 3h by 4 anta barabeku. Okay, very important for objective point of view, 3h by 4 answer.